What up, Tactical Pandas? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I just ordered something. You know, I showed you like one of these tactical baton bat telescoping, expandable flashlights just a little while ago. I thought it was interesting. Couldn't find that exact one available on Amazon. There's certain other ones that are available. So I thought, why not show you one that you can get on Amazon? So I ordered this one because I thought, we take a look at it together. So if you want to know exactly what you're getting, this hopefully will help you here. So baton-like flashlight, as you can see, the handle here is a pretty good sized grip for grabbing it. I have no problems grabbing it. It's not super heavy because everything is basically an aluminum construction, is basically what I've learned about these things. It is a flashlight though, so I know sometimes like the telescoping wands and things are banned by local jurisdictions for whatever reason. I'm sure it's a wonderful reason, but apparently you can have a very similar thing, but if it has a flashlight, the point of it is a flashlight. So, it's not necessarily that you have to use this to beat someone or something up, but I can definitely see, if you're going to take a flashlight on like a vacation, or like through the woods or something like that, camping, through bear territory or, snake territory or something like that, to have something like this might be beneficial. Maybe it's not, but if you're going to carry a flashlight anyway. It kind of reminds me of the old mag lights. Do you remember when mag lights used to be like 2 feet long and like 40 pounds? Those things were monstrous, and not only were they monstrous, but they were really, really heavy. So they were absolutely kind of weapon quality types of flashlights. But the point was they needed a ton of battery because we didn't have the powerful CREE LEDs or LED elements like we do now. So you can get a lot of light in a very small package that's very efficient. So first of all, it comes with this little battery sleeve here, and that's because I think if you use a different type of battery in the back, it'll kind of accommodate things that are slightly different. So let's open it up here. You have this, this kind of roundish, knurled, kind of like baseball bat end, which kind of is, with some fake, looks like some fake screw holes there. I don't know, maybe they're real. I don't think they are. And then you have the rubberized button here. It almost looks like it's just part of the aluminum, but it's not. It's a rubberized button. Let's just see what we have inside. So what we have is a little carriage for AAA batteries. Now, if you have, the one larger your rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, which is like the 18250 or something like that, I think, then you can put that in there and in the sleeve, and you don't have to worry about it rattling around. But let's go ahead and just use 3 AAA batteries right now and get Amazon AAA batteries in the carousel. We're going to just drop it in here, pointy end down first, and then go ahead and screw this back on. The threading is nice and distinct. It goes on very cleanly. There is a little O-ring right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of moving around. So it should give us a nice watertight seal when I kind of twist it down there. All right. And then if I hit the button here on the back, yep, we get a light on. If I half click it, I think we can probably have some different modes there. Obviously strobe, half click it again, looks like bright, half click it again, low beam, and then strobe. So there's 3 modes: high, low, strobe. Full click and that turns it off. Nice kind of rubberized texture there. The rubber doesn't seem like overly thick. I don't think it'll wear out or anything, but it's, as you can see, it's, it's a pretty big button, so you'll have no problems getting your fingers on it. There's a little bit of like a knurling, on the handle here. So I think, when I grab it, it's nice because your hand doesn't want to slide up and down because all the milling here is round. It's not very deep, so you don't have to worry about it kind of cutting into your hand at all. Right here on the collar, you have a little bit of kind of like a notched, edged collar right there, and then kind of a little tiny carabiner, and then a nylon ribbon-like wrist lanyard, which I can absolutely see if you're using this, as a flashlight or in adverse conditions or under stress or something like that. It's going to be nice to have this around your wrist so that if you let go of it, you're not losing it. And it's not just for I guess heavy stress, but if you're in the dark or kind of walking through a forest, I can see holding on to this, because if this is black and you drop this on the ground at night, holy smokes, man, I tell you what, I dropped a camouflage flashlight in the lawn once. You know how long it took me to find that bad boy? You know what found it? The lawnmower. So keep that in mind. Then you have the, you know, on in terms of overall length, it's really like 60% of the overall length is this kind of longer, thicker portion of the flashlight housing. There's a little bit of like knurling up here. You know, it's not really a checkerboard pattern, but they're kind of rows of raised squares. They're not super high or anything. They do give a little bit of, you know, grip. So if you don't have to worry about sliding around, you can easily grab this and twist it. And then we'll kind of look at the extendability of it. But, you know, it's not going to kind of make, you know, if you were use this to hit something, it's not going to make it particularly more dangerous to me. You know, the other flashlight that I showed you had some kind of much more aggressive fins up here. Now, to open it up, I'm going to twist it like this and see if that's what we do or not. Oh, okay. So there we go. So, okay. Looks like this whole housing is this handle, and where the battery is screws into this, so I do want to make sure that's fairly nice and tight. Looks like this piece here just kind of free spins. I don't know. Okay, so it does kind of free spin, but it's like a locking nut. It's like a jam nut. So as I tighten it up, it gets all the way to the top of the threads and then kind of jams up there. So if I pull this down, I'm just trying to see how this works in terms of tightening. Okay, so it works just very similar to the other one. This is like a jam nut. You kind of want it all turned all the way, you know, if you're looking at like this counterclockwise, if you're looking at like this clockwise, to keep it in place. But if you twist it all the way down like this, it looks like it's going to come all the way off. Now, to extend it, obviously it just slides back and forth like this. Ooh. And then there are some slotting in here. I think that helps kind of hold it in place once you pick the distance that you want. You can bring it all the way down. There's a little bit of a spring load right there. It's kind of holding it in place right now, but if I but it kind of feels like it wants to pop up for the first inch or so. But then to lock it in any position, you just kind of rotate it like this. If you're looking at like this, it's going to be counterclockwise. If you're looking at, I guess, like this, you want to turn it clockwise like this, but if you're looking like this, counterclockwise. So you turn it like this to lock it, and you turn it like this to unlock it. So I've kind of locked it in place so it would stay like this in its most compressed form. I give it a little quick 1/8 twist like that, just kind of like the telescoping shower curtain rods. Bring it out to the distance you want, and then lock it down like that, and that holds it in place, and you can't move it. So, you know, just a quick little 1/8 of a turn, and then bring it all the way out, and you can lock it in place out there. Now, it does seem pretty stable. I mean, you know, if you were using this to fend off a snake or something like that, I don't think you'd have to worry about it not being sturdy. I mean, you could definitely do that. And then the flashlight obviously works. Now, when it's extended like that, the flashlight element, the CREE element, or the LED bulb is still down here, so it's going to kind of create a very small tunnel pencil-like beam. It's not until you pull it all the way back and you compress it kind of all the way back down that beam is going to widen out. So to kind of get a much broader, more usable beam for finding things, walking, hiking, you're going to want this compressed down as far as possible, typically, to get the widest beam. And it's because as soon as you extend it out, you've basically kind of narrowed that beam to kind of its smallest area. All right, so now that you've seen it, now that you know what this looks like, and it's you know, I think it's pretty cool. Definitely could be useful if you need a flashlight anyway. Why not, you know, why not get this? If you're worried a little bit about security or something like that, you're the kind of person who has a baseball bat or something under the bed, certainly could make a lot of sense to have this in your nightstand. Or if, like I said, you go outdoors a lot and maybe go to an area with wild dingoes, or in my area, coyotes, you might just want this as a little bit extra insurance. Now the key is, I'm sure you're wondering, how does it work outside, Panda? Let's check it out. All right, guys, outside here with the bat flashlight, and I'm turning it on here, and it's compressed, or as collapsed as it can actually get. And so let me see if I can just pull it in any further. So that's as far down as it will go. You can see it kind of silhouetted there. So what you get is, if I'm kind of holding it at my waist, it does a nice job of illuminating, you know, the area out in front of me. It's about a 6 or 7 foot wide, you know, circle, and it kind of shines out, you know, 4 feet in front of me out to 20 or 25 feet, and so no problem illuminating my path, you know, if I were using this for camping or something like that. Now if I go ahead and drop the that the far end, the housing end of the light out just even an inch here, you know, this is just where it's kind of naturally going because of that spring loading. You can see we get it down to that pinpoint element, and if I push that the long end of the flashlight out further, it doesn't even get really any smaller. It just stays very small. Now it's very focused and it's bright, so I can actually illuminate things out here, you know, like the tree and the grass, and it's actually very, very usable. But you know, I really have to pull it not only kind of all the way back in, but almost to where it's basically mounted all the way back against that jam nut in order to kind of have a large enough spread to kind of identify anything. So, you know, from a flashlight standpoint, it absolutely works. You know, if it's extended out, it's pretty much just a pinpoint light and a bat. So keep that in mind. But I'll put a link to it in the description if you feel you have a need for something like this. But just thought it's a cool little product, and maybe more useful than one might think. Peter from Panda, out.